Welcome again, global, international people of the world. It is my activate leadership, my municipality, my blocks, my street, my entrepreneurial township growth in terms of the CPD, in terms in business, economic growth in the townships, yes, of the city of Cape Town. This is the planning of our future city together in terms of planning what the future of the development growth in architecture, in urban development, in urban designing, and in turning a township to become a business district that is an international business district from these rags of these vendors over here. We therefore were trying to introduce that Premier Alan Winder was here around some time ago, maybe 1 month before, and then in the issue of the Issue 34 of the Better Magazine, 2019 September, it states that the township economy celebrates all the entrepreneurs. So these are the entrepreneurs of the future that are keen so much to be in a public participation department unity of the unity of the city of Cape Town with the Western Cape government for them to find their permits, yes, and finding their strength of opening, yes, the township success in economic development, growth, and economic development sustainability that will bring enough gross net returns in terms of township success for entrepreneurs. These entrepreneurs have been here for so many years ago, yes, before even the station was transgressed into become Ikuyasa Nasekristani. This was the last station before year 2010. And all these vendors over here are also vendors of people who are coming from the United African Union, doing their business together over here to ensure that they learn the skills in the city of Cape Town on how to develop businesses and how to partner and associate in partnership of African Union international trade. Therefore, together with the activate my municipality, my township, my rural areas, my urban settlement, and my CPD and my township that we are developing over here to ensure that in the planning of our future city together, we are planning it so creatively enough with this united eternity, spirituality, and immortality of all these people over here who remain us here doing their business as an African United Union. I managed to listen to the radio some time ago saying that there will be opportunities for every refugees across the city of Cape Town. Others will find learnerships, others will find job creating opportunities, and others will find law enforcement opportunities for them to grow the unity of the Cape to Cairo via Morocco, Madagascar, in remembering the 1996 African Cup of Union. So this is the union here that is here now, United Union of the African Unity. So these vendors over here, we need what a good skill development of developing our mentality, our power of intelligence, our power of brilliance, and our power of acknowledging the values, yes, the 5 priority areas of the values of the issue 34 September 2019 of the Better Together magazine of the Western Cape government. These people over here came here to ensure that they are doing business for themselves, to feed their families, to feed their children, to send them to school for better education. So we will find out that yes, the Khayelitsha has grown in terms of population because now we have other sections called Harare, Kuyasa, Zwezwe, and Zofini. Other one is Nkanini, and then Vocho, and then Naseris, and other places that have been growing up so massively, and the population is so high enough to be living in this kind of survival global, that people sometimes they don't have the power and the knowledge of buying from vendors like our own people who are standing for themselves in the name of the entrepreneurial development for great economic opportunities. So the passion over here, firstly, that you always do when we started here, is the passion of all of us together in one eternity, in one spirituality, and in one immortality, in terms of the township growth in development, in terms of entrepreneurial job creating opportunities and job skills transfer, of educating people more, such as the programs of the Craft and Design Institute that educate people more about how to do their business, on how to own their businesses and how to run their businesses, such as the programs and services that you find on Casidra too. Those programs over there, they are here now. We are pleading for them as the vendors over here, that we are waking up every day, whether it's winter, it's summer, it's autumn, it's spring, or whether it's raining, but you'll always find these people over here trying their best to be in the business world of the city of Cape Town, city of opportunities. Over here again, we have our own architecture designs that we have managed to design with the train station over here and the Khayelitsha mall over that side, as we have introduced in the past presentations, that we want to build this center over here, because it is not a mall at all, it is just a center. Because a mall, is an indoor mall, just like Promenade, just like a Cavendish Square, just like Blue Route Mall, just like Waterfront Mall, just like Sanctuary City Mall, just like Tiger Valley Mall, just like Tigerberg Mall, even the Belleville Mall, even the N1 City Mall. So over here, by the time that the trains are still not proceeding very well, I will honor the trust of integrity and accountability, yes, from the likes of Alderate James Voss, the Alderate Carlo Visi, the likes of Matthew Kempton, the likes of Alan Winder, who has been away for into nice now to do business of 10 companies around there doing entrepreneurship while he was still the Minister of Economic Opportunities. So this is a great economic opportunity in terms of planning our future city together, because remember, it is a 10-year midterm when we plan our future city together. So we still have a long 9 years to come to plan it carefully with ours or with mine, architecture designing, urban designing, yes, with my special development of local designing, and with my creating intelligence that I've managed to study at the UCT GSB Graduate School of Business, when we were taught architecture on how to build what great economic asset property management that are economic opportunities to the global world in unity now with the African United Union over here. You can see over there's a building that is getting built. That building is so beautifully enough when it's designed. It was designed very carefully by great intelligence that I can see when I look at it thoroughly. But over my own, Mr. Sisa Brian Makaluza, empire of creativity in urban designing, in rural and urban development, in sustainability of asset management, in terms of property economic skills. Yes, so if over here we can still stick on that vision, on that mission, yes, of building this mall over here to become a technological mall with great innovations, with great technology that will come by with the train system, that I have also got great skill of graffiti designing, service product design, in designing buses, in designing trucks, in designing mini buses, in designing trains as well, and in designing software, cyber security, information data systems, and information communication of technology that will be great enough to build this Khayelitsha mall over here to become a state of international global recognition of the likes of Waterfront Mall, Blue Route Mall. Remember, guys, yes, we have got a more population. The people from Eastern Cape have managed to come around over here, searching for skills too, searching for education, searching for employment, and this will be a great workplace for innovators, as this one is a world-changing ideas and world-changing innovations. When we take our own train stations all the way from Krisani to Piazza, and then Khayelitsha, and then Ntubela, and then Mandalane, and then Stock Road, and then Philippi, and then we go to Nyanga, and then it is Netrach, and then Netrach to Heleveld to Bondeville, and then Bondeville to Langa, and then we change the sitting steam to Levistown route to Pentek and Bella, and then you're gonna cross on to Sarepta, and then you're gonna meet in Belleville, and then you're gonna take another route that will take you to Maitland, Dublin, everywhere. So we have managed to ensure that me and the other first guys I've met, yes, from Bondeville, when we first designed the Bondeville station, train station, and then we designed also the mutual train station over there with great intelligence of our own city of Cape Town, what education of the aware curriculum. We have been learning so much in touch over here. So we as these vendors over here, we need great assistance from them. Issue 34, with its promising economy, with its promising empowerment, which is promising even innovation, culture change, and also the transportation, yes, of spatial transportation. So the vendors over here, they need great education so that when we get inside what the township is celebrating for entrepreneurs, and then when we get inside, yes, the economic opportunities and developments, the people over here, they really have got the education that is advanced education, of standard education for them to build sustainable businesses for themselves in the townships that they will maintain in the name of the international global world, global partnerships, global relationships, and understanding of how a business is maintained, that it can grow to become a business that can also multiply in the Eastern Cape and multiply even in Africa, because we are a union over here of the city of Cape Town that we always come over here to work. Yes, but we have managed to see that now I have a pretty full smile on me when we can see that these are the vendors that need the greatest opportunities first, yes, of that are accessible and accountable with great trust of integrity, yes, that are out there in the city of Cape Town for free, like places like the business support, places like the Western Cape Government Innovation Hub, such as the Craft and Design Institute, and all the programs and services that you will find on Casidra, yes, together in agricultural farming. But yes, this is not agricultural farming over here, but we are in a great space of understanding that we are in a economic entrepreneurial space opportunity to develop it according to the departments, yes, of the City of Cape Town government and the Western Cape government and the Mayoral Executive Committee government in terms of property, economic opportunities, of asset management, in terms of property. Therefore, the great skill of my intelligence with these people over here every day when I come around here, that they are always calling me in as a public participation unit department and as a public servant, as they are one of those that have managed to come in as sub-council 10 and say, no, we were robbed by the KDF when they said they're going to build for us a mall, and then instead of a mall, they given us a center that is not in appropriate way of doing international, global, worldwide business. So you see, maybe over here we have about 40 or 30 or 50 vendors over here that they will need their permit, and then after the permit, we can manage to sit down with the City of Cape Town government, Western Cape government, in terms of the professional research, in terms of Miss Janet Khie and Miss Laurine Plaskioto of the policies and strategy. So the strategy over here is to grow this city city of this Khayelitsha station, and all of them from Grisani to Cape Town, because the first innovation that happened when we were building our own intelligence as the natives of Cape Town, we managed to have an architecture of urban illustrated, integrated development, strategic coordinating developments of designings and architect designings. Because even these stations have been here for centuries of years. Even that's why Metro Rail had managed to stop and then try to bring the blue train of the one that is a new train, that is technologically train, that was introduced by Helen Zille, and that was sitting at the heart of the city of Cape Town station. Therefore, the passion and the mission is this, is to grow an indoor station like this one, and then it becomes a mall, such like a little bit of 60% of a golden egg. 60% of golden egg. It will be a great invention, because I also want to be part of building what the station of the city of Cape Town better than it is today, because we have managed to utilize a lot of financial budget to create economic opportunistic more advanced Cape Town station. But to me, it is still in a low budget of creation, because we didn't manage to sit down and see what kind of a future we are at. We are in a future right now of our own independence, and our own independence is the independence of 471 years and then 200 of unity with the African Union. So I'm not doing this all by myself. I'm doing it with the eternity of the sub-council 10 of Khayelitsha, from Wat 91, Wat 92, Wat 93, Wat 94, Wat 95, Wat 96, 7 and 8. And then Wat 98, everybody was here the first time saying that we are in terms of development, in terms of construction. So the things that we need over here for these vendor peoples over here, in the promise of the issue 34, that township business or entrepreneurial economic opportunities are in the IDP, Integrated Development Plan, yes, of the Western Cape government. But ensure that we have a planning of our future city together, that will gonna take 10 more years to come. If you still remember all the executive board members of the mayoral executive committee and the city of Cape Town government with the Western Cape government, in 2016 there were proposal A, B, C, D, E and F that was in the business expo at the podium block, where there were international worldwide architecture designs of buildings, architecture designs of great quality, of great intellectuality, of great invention, of great economic knowledge, research intensive. Those proposals over there on the podium block in exactly 2016-2017, they were there. So by that moment of time, I've already in 2012 at the University of Cape Town Graduate School of Business, had already studied at the Raymond Economic Academy Innovation, and then we were also taught how to visualize, how to have a vision on how to take a thought, yes, of an urban designing and put it into sketch of mechanical drawings and graphical drawings, and then you put it on CAD, and then you develop it such as the world capital design of 2014 that was out there. You would have seen other architectures that have built their own cities across the global world. But city of Cape Town is a city most of the global international nations. But if you can see, it is still underdeveloping in terms of its own architect designs of building. But we want to share it with the African countries of the Southern African Development Community, which is SADC. We want to work with SADC together on how to build a nation, on how to build a city, on how to build a town from a township to become an urban job creating huge global relationships with the business companies around the global world. But yes, the city of Cape Town, we have managed to develop it in the past 3 years. All the buildings that were not there in 2017, when you come from the Mowbray Observatory Road straight to Salt River Woodstock until you reach the St. Lawrence and then the Good Hope Center. There are few buildings that have been managed to be built over there. I'll tell you their names soon enough. Yes, the mission, the vision and the passion and the purpose of this media presentation is to build an indoor station, you see, with technological security and safety, because it is mentioned that safety is one of them. So the most critical number one intelligent safety of it all, what it is the invention of data based systems of information technology communications, yes, such as the likes of the Cape Town tech ecosystem. They can manage to understand our own kind of intelligence in technological security systems of the cyber security. Therefore, I've also managed to understand that that container over here of the Rasta, that is the number one executive board of directing me to ensure that I always come around and fulfill what the needs of this build up, yes, of the mall, of the Khayelitsha mall. And over here you can see others, they need what their own spaces of doing their own business too inside it, because this is Jew Thomas over here, or Walton's, a mastermind of a father who's selling beautiful educational books into everyone, but everyone is not in the learning culture anymore now because of these social media things. But yeah, they need, over here this side, they need what maybe one of the offices over here, and then that is the Jarastafari who always keeps us on motion and on moment and on growth and on remembering that the planning of our future city together, of our communities, of our streets of Khayelitsha. We were mentioning that Khayelitsha and Mfuleni and Mitchell's Plain are out there to be developed in that 10-year period of the IDP, yes, of the strategic development framework. So with the framework of it, you can see once again I come to the same place to ensure to show you that this is not a mall, guys. In an international world, you can't rob me. I'm a native of the city of Cape Town. Way back, even before 1652, I was there in terms of the development and the creation of our own city of Cape Town, District 6, known as the Republic of Multiracial Nations. And over here, you will see these businesses that are inside here are businesses others are owned, yes, by international and African Union business intellectuals of intelligence. But right now, we don't need it no more, because when we are building something from now and forward again, we must build what property management, job economic opportunity buildings that are high enough to be in 6 stories high, 9 stories high, because over here in Khayelitsha we have a landscape of a level landscape, because I know that why we can't build skyscrapers buildings in Cape Town anymore, because they will hide, yes, the intelligence of the Table Mountain. But here there's no Table Mountain over here. Here what is a great pleasure of saying to the KTF is a robbery. This is a robbery. This Khayelitsha mall that they call. Yes. Do you know why most people love it so much? It's because that even when you go to the Eastern Cape, you will find out that this is their Canal Walk Sanctuary City when they come in Cape Town, or this is their Ratanga Junction, or this is their Cavendish Square, or this is their what you call a VNA waterfront. But to us as the natives of the city of Cape Town, black and colored youth that inherited what life of this city of Cape Town, District 6, of the Griquas land, of the Hottentots and the Bushmans. Sarabata Barman and the Khoisans. Yes, this land was so clearly enough a level land with a lot of trees around, but those trees have managed to come back in eternity and in immortality from us, saying that no, we are tired of building things that we're gonna be what at the end of the day we will destroy them and build them once again. So the next time what the city of Cape Town is in an idealistic idea of a futuristic future development in terms of TDA and TCT departments and the Department of Spatial Development of the local government and the Department, yes, of Public Works and the Department of Construction. Yes, I know that all the IDPs from 2014 until 2019 until 2022, they are saying that we've got to be stand up for ourselves as entrepreneurs of today, as business people of tomorrow, transforming into technology. So the system of safety, economy, empowerment, innovation, culture change, and spatial development in transport industry. Yes, those ones we have covered it up in the name of the Mr. Sister Brian Makaluza empire of most innovative and most creative innovations, intellectual visionary visions of that can be visualized on the brain, on the mind. And then when we sit down and discuss it, from mouth to mouth on a meeting with the MACO Executive Committee, with the City of Cape Town Government Committee, and with the ministers of the City of Cape Town provincial province, in terms of planning of together, I have managed to go across in the 2017 IDPs that were in Lendegie, other one in Kukuletu, and then another one in Philippi, other one in Khayelitsha, other one in Delft. I have managed to come across to some of them, and I've managed to understand that in the mayor's portfolio, yes, of urban sustainability, this is the urban sustainability, turning a township into an economic, yes, number one job creating entrepreneurs that will be so successful enough to understand themselves that they are not left out in terms of trade, in terms of marketing, in terms of the sales and marketing for themselves. So we must teach them very well by giving them a proper education of business management, business administration, business logistics, business strategies, yes, and all those things. You see, you understand? Yeah. So over here, you can see everyone has got their own style of selling the needs that people need in terms of the needs. But now the needs that they need are more advanced. They are advanced. They are more in a higher class of level, because the way that they have designed now this station, it is a way that used to be 20 years ago or 15 years ago. The stations used to be like this, but today they are so better because everything now is in an eternity of unity of the entire Khayelitsha sub-council wards, with the unity of the African Union multiracial racials that are also doing their business in all over the city of Cape Town, doing it proudly enough to say we are making progress possible together. Therefore, Mr. Mayor Dan Plateau, and then Mr. Premier Alan Winder, where you visited this location of the greatest robbery, such as the Nonkubela station, another greatest robbery, because I have seen, yes, the design of Nonkubela station many years ago. How was it supposed to be developed? And this one is nonsense. It's nonsensical, sorry to say, use wrong words in terms of international, global, worldwide investors and funders. A time for them to understand how development grows from nothing to something, how development grows from the intelligence of the mind, and then you structure out what the old into the new, and then you take the new and then you turn it up and side down, and then until it becomes what a futuristic future. let me tell you about the futuristic future, my fellow Minister Alan Windham. When we build on any property from now, asset management of properties, that they must be in an economic opportunity for the global world of all the continental continents, and inviting them to come to become the workplace innovators, because there are innovators across the global world that can come around in this priority time of planning our future city together, because our city is a city of many cities, is a city of global cities, and is a city of African soil cities, and is a city of European cities, Asian and Indonesian, Austria cities, because of the Latin American and North American Madagascar cities, you see, and the Middle East, yes. So you see these shacks over here, and these vendor things that people use to sell the great food, like fruit over there, veggies. Others are selling most of the things that are in need. But what the most skill that you need, what is our own meeting? Yes, as I close this first chapter, I need a meeting, yes, to be there. I'm a stakeholder leadership of the public participation unit department. I'm an intelligence of great intellectuality, of brilliance, yes, from the Collins Illustrated Encyclopedia of famous people, from the great education of the 1652 Dutch East Indian Company for Trader Movement, of the Western Cape Government Educational Department, in terms of e-learning for new technology innovations, as it is illustrated most into innovation, cultural change, and into the core values of the Western Cape Government, that innovation and knowledge, what must be responsive enough to be carrying, yes, for the development of all the IDPs. So over here, these places, these shacks are still the same wood, are still the same things that were here 15 or 20 years ago, before even the train station carried on to be developed in Kuyasa and Krisani. Now, what do we need once again? Well, I repeat it one more time. What we want over here is all these vendors. Firstly, I want to say it one more time. Yes, let's find what an opportunity of an appointment discussion. Yes, with the executive board members of the Craft and Design Institute, because they were one of those that together with me were interested, actually myself, to give resolutions and solutions, yes, for the game changers, and the 6 incentives of the Western Cape Government, the Premier, yes, the 2014-2019 Strategic Development Plan. The game changers were there. And this is, we said we must have a learning city. We will talk about that later. But always remember, as I always want you to remember, the only thing to remember is that the population of Khayelitsha has managed to grow every time. Because number 2, economy from Eastern Cape is so high enough and low enough when it is compared to the city of Cape Town own economy of developments. Yes, so the best thing that we are doing over here, we are sharing with the African United Union unity over here, of everyone around here, that the best thing that I've listened to the radio when they said all the refugees are given an opportunity in terms of the traffic law, in terms of the safety and security in the metro police, maybe, yeah, or maybe in the development, yes, of that introduction that I was listening to the radio, while others over here are here to say that no, we are here for great education skills transfer, because we are united most when it comes to the UCT GSP business review of the #9 summer 2017, with the likes of the Black Stars of Ghana, the Lagos of Nigeria, and the UCT GSB of South Africa, of Cape Town, therefore Republic of South Africa, of the Griqualand District 6. So together we are here as one now, because it has said into the educational system of the universal universe, in the advanced one, that the city of Cape Town is a gateway through to international trade, to international market sales, to international global opportunities for the United Nations of the African Union. Therefore, by that, Yamogu, we as the South African Skumbulile West Coast Foundation, Mr. Cesar Brian Makaluza's empire of business, innovative and creative startup businesses in terms of the VC4A. You do know the VC4A? Yeah, the VC4A is the one that is collaborating, uniting what all the startup business innovators, all those who are interested in innovative businesses, growth and business development from themselves, all those who are keen enough to make their own creative mind, which is a creative mind of creations, which is a creative mind of inventions, mind of discoveries, and the mind of partnerships and associates, and sharing great ideas in eternity, in spirituality, and in immortality. Therefore, this is a robbery from the KTF. You are supposed to be a mall, not a center. Therefore, now, when we build this mall again, in terms of our own designs in architecture, even myself, including even the airport growth expansion, I want to be part of it. And even the city of Cape Town train station, I want to be part of it when it's getting designed. Because our unity as the natives, I'm a native of the Griqualand, I'm a native of the city of Cape Town, I'm a native of the Asian time, even before 1652 arrived. But through that unity of the 1652 Dutch East Indian Company Continental movement, we have managed to the agenda towards Africa 2063. So the agenda towards 2063 is also the part of planning of our future city together. So therefore, when we plan our city here, we are planning it by also giving sustainable development of information society and of documents outcomes. It's World Conference Summits for them to be given an opportunity to study in learnerships in the way that have been organized and the way that they've been structured and the way that they have been infrastructured and assembled by Mr. Cesar Brian Makaluza, myself, on how we can train each other's ones over here to have a great intelligence, so that when this mall is re-innovated again, it is reincarnated, it is rejuvenated, it is rebuilt. Yes, it becomes a 1496 future, maybe year 1963. This is the point I was trying to say, is that the lastly, as I close now, 3 minutes now, is that we must build what properties or property management asset economic opportunities of property, of infrastructure, of buildings, of housing. Even if we have different 5 times of different ways of building the houses, first you must come to me too, because I am the service provider that will never provide anything without any service excellence, without any accountable trust of integrity, that comes from the intellectuality of education of the Western Cape government education that I started a long time ago. That is the education of the UCTGS Academy, College of Cape Town, False Bay College, Head Start College, even from way back in my Zona Secondary School. Yes, the only thing is that we must build these infrastructure buildings so that in 500 years to come, those futuristic future children of the future, they won't have any problem and say that we are living in a four corners properties of growth. So our building, our infrastructural architecture, urban designing, or turning a township into an urban CBD. So in 600 years to come, we mustn't say that, hey, we made a very a loss of economic finance, and we have made a very big mistake of developing a tree tree that has no leaves in 500 years to come. So that tree that you are building in any property, in 500 years to come, it must also produce those apples, it must produce those pears, those bananas, those coconuts, those peanuts, and those avocados, and those kiwis, you see, and those lettuce, and those cabbage. Even in 500 years to come, when that building is out there. Therefore, we are also investing through agriculture in terms of the development of the Swart Clip. We are here to also say that in agriculture, we're going to introduce it later, and then we're going to introduce to you as City of Cape Town Mayoral Executive Committee government yes, the opportunities and the visions of the vehicle innovations that are part of the guide into investing into Africa, innovation into Africa. So City of Cape Town is an African soil. As you know, it's from Cape to Cairo, via Madagascar, Morocco, Zimbabwe, Zaire, Kenya to Rwanda, and even to Botswana, to everywhere, until we understand that we are a unity of union. Therefore, Mr. Alan Wind, you were here some time ago for this committee thing, and to you, Mr. Mayor, the last time we met at the 21st of July 2018 in the conference of the community promotions, I was that guy who was holding the microphone from group number 4, saying that let's plan our future together with the United African Union, as we did it in eternity and in spirituality and in immortality. These sheikhs were here even 20 years ago, but they are still here. But what the local government is so corrupt enough to give us a mall, and thinking that we don't know what is a mall. This is a center. So the Center for Entrepreneurship must have an idea to understand what happened here. If we can ask the Center for Entrepreneurship Department of the First Bay College, maybe what happened here, if we could ask the likes of Mr. Gareth Blow, yes, Gareth Blow, the ones that came out with the gas entrepreneurship that fallen apart and left us with this center over here. But this is the future now of that productivity, and this future has been brought by the African unity, by the African Union, in terms of the GSB review. Can Africa rise again? Yes, Africa can rise again. That is why these African United Union people are here in the city of Cape Town, to gain the strength, to gain the immortality, to gain the wisdom, to gain the education, and to gain the partnership of eternity and immortality and spirituality in the growth of the Africa as a whole. It's ready to Indonesia and Asia. Remember the showcasing of 2014 and 2016 of the mayor's urban sustainability for the balance of needs of the municipality. So all those portfolios in 2014 and 2016, yes, those are the number one priorities that we must use when we are developing and planning our future city together. And that city together is not a city of Cape Town alone. We are talking about the cities of Africa over here, African soil, because we were given an agenda in 2063, but now we are living in 2020. So when are those developments going to happen in 2063? So City of Cape Town government, let's unite again with the European Commission, with the European European and Asian unity of international trade, of international support, of international growth, of international relationships that are big enough to be remembered, even if they were in centuries of million years ago. Because as the African unity natives, we also know the existence of the cycle of life even before the creation of the boom boom bang or the cycle of life. Therefore, now when I close it right now, I'm closing it in 45 minutes, and that is a 45 minutes of a student in a class attending a period of something else. Yes, I am saying when I'm closing it, when I come into a different side now, the mall over here must be at least 3 stories high or 5 stories high for the purpose that I will tell you later why. Because we've got now other great inventions, but the invention of the train station and the taxi rank stations built up, remember, they are still out there to be resolved and resoluted. And we, as the unity of the United Union of the African soil, as the sons of the soil, we have got great intellectuality of great discipline and inner soul and inner peace and inner growth and wisdom of understanding when things that are revolving and the revolutionary years, when they are revolving what into the wealth of the millennium that we inherited from the first movement of Moses crossing from Africa to the Mediterranean Sea to meet the European, Asian, yes, and Indonesia and the Middle East as one unity with the District 6 equivalence of the independence of 200 years. Thank you to any investor of the global world. Thank you to the investors of that I follow on Twitter, that all those investors over there and funders or that I follow on Twitter and in the ecosystem. Yes, remember safety. We've got our own designs of safety, technology, of scientific engineering in terms of communication digitalities, of the cybernet, cybersecurity, cyber web, and all of those here are in the African United Soul unity. That's why they are asking, can Africa rise again? Yes, if it's going to rise, it's going to rise with the relationship of the European Research Council, so that we do understand that the advanced management of the global network, advancement to leverage the economy of the global world, we are starting it from right now, right here, that's the moment in terms of Cape Town township development, planning our future city together, and in terms of building this mall. I was saying that here it must be a mall built up into 3 stories high. 3 stories high will be enough, and then the next 2 stories above, it will be a number one thing to understand. What? 3 stories high, it will be all business, economic opportunities of jobs, creation of shops, of everything like that. Yes, and then the second 2 stories high, what it will be apartments where people will live on the second, on the fourth and the fifth story of this mall over here. It will be apartments for people to live inside them, and then we can manage to use the skill of the creativity and intellectual integrated development of new venture creations in terms of businessistic growth, in terms of African soil unity. So all these vendors over here are still waiting patiently and compassionately and in supportive field support to the Western Cape government, to the City of Cape Town government. In all the townships, you will find them around, giving us the strength of their unity with the global world, with the global universe, with the global economic opportunities. So over here, we want to ensure that everyone who is a vendor here, we sit down with the Craft and Design Institute, with the business support of the Business Hub, with others that I will mention later that are opportunistic to give like Casidra programs and services, just like the Sakatau too, South African Transport of Excellence for services like business development, human capital and research. Now I close it right here, saying that you can see what is a center, not a mall. A mall is supposed to be like promenade, it's supposed to be like waterfront, it's supposed to be like Golden Acre, Tigerberg, Tiger Valley, Century City, Ratanga Junction, Blue Route Mall. You see? So now it's time to renovate this place and make it a wonderful, great mall of inventions, so that even in 500 years to come or 400 years to come, we are proud of what we have done in 2020, preparations of planning our future city together for the foreign direct investments of the African Equity Empowerment Investments, Asian Equity Empowerment Investments, American Equity Empowerment Investments, both sides of American, Austria Equity Empowerment Investments, and then the investments what for the entrepreneurs, and the investments for the business people over here, and the investments for those who will be creating the jobs, because over here will be a great job creation for construction, you see, for building and all those kinds of faculties and departments of the universal advanced education. Thank you for the first presentation. Let's move to the other side now. In the name of Mr. Dan Plateau, and in the name of Mr. Alan Winder, in the name of Carlo Visi, in the name of James Vols, in the name of Campton Matthew, and in the name of the City of Cape Town Tech Ecosystem, and in the name of Skhumbulo West Coast Foundation, Sub-Council 10 of every Ward 91, Ward 92, Ward 93, Ward 94, Ward 95, Ward 96, Ward 97, and Ward 98, together as one, as Sub-Council 10, saying that the KTF really robbed us and manipulated the finances of building this Khayelitsha Mall, which is a center. Then in the name of planning of our future city together and the proposed development of the Swart Clip, yes, that we are saying we want to be part of it in terms of development. The coastal development too, of the environmental coastal development of Dariel Kotabada. I'm also interested to be part number one leader of the community stakeholder of the organ of the City of Cape Town, because of Skhumbulo West Coast Foundation is the central database for government field supportive new venture creations entrepreneur of the global world. Mr. Sisa Brian Makaluza and everyone who is here in eternity, and all these people over here, yes, in terms of the future of the planning of our future city together of Khayelitsha. We just playing to Fulani or Blue Downs and all the other districts that I will honor the privilege to be part of every IDP plan, of the SDF plan, and every integration. Thank you to the TCT and also to the TDA comprehensive integrated development plan of 2017-2022. Not forgetting the issue 34, word of the Western Cape government, Minister of Alan Winder, Better Together magazine, of the 5 areas of priorities and of the values of the issue 34 magazine, Better Together magazine, by making progress possible together, better together with our Eastern Cape fellow friends, fellow neighbors, fellow sisters and brothers who have came to Cape Town to ensure that they still want more education, just like the African Union, that we are, as the City of Cape Town, the international gateway through, yes, to international trade in technology, in businesses, in education, in all those things. Let's unite for the planning of our future city together in terms of recreating and rebuilding this center to become a mall in terms of our own independence, of our own education, without even inviting maybe other beyond infinity international architecture. Let's first see what have we managed in our own architecture, like myself in urban growth, in industrial designing, and in urban designing, and in architect designing, and in civil engineering designing. Thank you very much, international global people of the world, and all the investors, yes, of the Forbes investing, and the investors, yes, of the Innovation by Design first company. Thank you very much. As I was saying, in terms under the name of the Western Cape government and the Western Cape provincial government, through to the youth chairperson Carl Poppenhammer and Ms. Ruth Adams, J.P. Smith, yes, and also Samantha Martini, without forgetting Ms. Rosemary Cooks, the one we have to sit down with the Craft and Design Institute and the Casidra and discuss on how we will provide what business development and business growth in the township success for Cape Town entrepreneurs, just like Mr. Sisa Empire's most innovative as a leading voice, yes, of the source and roots of the black townships of the city of Cape Town. Thank you to everyone who was here today for the great pleasure and the great moment of togetherness, of oneness, of one unity, without any nonsense, yes, from the ANC, KTF, that destroyed what finances by building this thing that is like what one of the towns of the Eastern Cape that need redevelopment too in terms of the better living challenge. Thank you, CDI, Ms. Rosemary Adams.